On this episode of What Your Watch Says About You, we're going to be going over some ridiculous yet crazy watches. First one I have on the list is the Jacob & Co. Opera Godfather watch. Look, this watch says many things. It either says A, you are in the Italian mafia, or B, you wish you were a mobster, or C, you're obsessed with mafia movies. But regardless of what it says in that aspect, what it says is you definitely have a lot of money. Because something like this will cost you easily $500,000. Look, I get it. When you look at some of these watches, you might think, well, that's ridiculous. Who would want a watch with so much going on with the Godfather on it? But if you really look at it closely, these watches are a work of art. Trust me, they really are. They're not really meant to be so much watches, but more a form of an expression of art, how can I say? Almost like a piece of art on your wrist. This is not something you'd want to wear every day, in my opinion. Why? Because, well, it looks a little fragile and it's big. I would say if they made that watch a little bit smaller, it'd be so much better. But then again, it'd also be so much harder and more expensive. But what this watch says about you, well, it says you almost have unlimited funds and you want something that really stands out and shares your love for organized crime. Next, we have the Rolex Submariner two-tone with the blue dial. What does this say? Well, this says you're from Miami. In my opinion, this is like one of the key factors when you're setting up your D-Boy starter kit. I mean, no guy on the street is ready without a Cuban link chain and a two-tone blue Submariner. I've been in Miami my whole life, so trust me when I tell you that everybody's shady uncle had this watch, or pretty much everybody's dad who wanted to look like the shady uncle. Guys, don't take it the wrong way. This is actually a very nice watch and it's one of the most popular and successful models from the brand. However, since I've been born and raised in Miami my whole life, I can't help but think what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Scarface era and that crazy uncle. Don't get me wrong, it's a great watch. I mean, it's way better than the black in my opinion. But since I'm from Miami, my opinion is gonna be a bit biased. Next, you got the AP Code 1159 Perpetual Calendar. So this is a tough one for me. What this says about you, well, honestly, when I see somebody wearing that watch, all talk aside about how the watch looks and all that, what it says is you were jumped into one of the biggest gangs, period, the AP gang. Because when somebody buys that watch at retail, what they do is, it's almost like a jump into a gang. They said, you want a Royal Oak stainless steel with a black dial? Not a problem. Here's this Code 1159 Rose Gold AP Perpetual Blue Dial. Pretty much one of the most expensive ones in their lineup. And you're probably gonna unfortunately take a bath on it. You know, what I don't understand about that model is this. I like the way it looks. It doesn't bother me one bit and I'm okay with AP having a leather strap watch, you know, something more contemporary. What I don't like is the name. Why does it have to be the Code 1159? It could either just be the 1159 or the code. Why the Code 1159? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. I don't get it. So what does the Code 1159 say to me? It says you spend some big bucks to get a Royal Oak at retail. Next, we got the Cartier Skeleton Bust Down. What this watch says about you says, check out my SoundCloud. I just dropped last week. That's exactly what this watch says to me. I mean, look, there has been a wave going on the past 2 years where everybody wants the Cartier Skeleton Bust Down. I mean, have you ever not heard that sometimes when you bust watches down, it's not the best investment? But then when you compound that with a brand like Cartier, which, let's face it, you take an instant 60% cut right off of your price second you walk out the door. Second thing it says about you is, I just threw away $50,000 on a watch. If you were lucky, you paid $50,000. A lot of you guys might have paid more. Let me just put it to you this way. Personally, I think at this moment, that watch is the island boys of the watch world.
Cause I'm an island boy.
Last but not least, to stay on the skeleton tip, let's talk about the GirardPerregaux Skeleton. I mean, look, either you've been watching way too many of the Timepiece Gentlemen's videos. Shout out to Anthony and Marco. I know you guys are moving these things like beast, but what it says to me is you want the most budget skeleton possible. And hey, don't get me wrong. The way things are going right now, where you're gonna spend over $300,000 for a rose gold AP Skeleton, I mean, this watch kind of does seem like a bargain. But at the same time, it kind of says, I wanted to get a Bentley, but instead I went for the Chrysler 300M. Just kidding, guys. I mean, I know that was a bit brutal. The watch is nice, I'm not gonna lie. And for the money, you really cannot hate on it overall. So I'm wondering, what is gonna happen with this GP? But overall, it does say you have nice taste in watches, because let's face it, comparing to the Island Boy Cartier, this is a win. Comment below what you think about the last 5 watches we discussed. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel.